songwriting, and then eventually that's when Miranda Writes came to be. So.
Well, being an upstate New Yorker myself, and also knowing the old adage, and this goes back before your time, anything north of New Rochelle is upstate New York. Mind if I ask you what part of upstate New York you're talking about when you say up in the mountains?
Yeah, so I'm in Orange County, not too. I'm in Warwick, like not too far from like Tuxedo and everything. Okay. So I'm only like an hour from the city, but it's amazing the difference between whenever you go over the mountain.
I was from deep upstate central New York, the Utica Rome area originally, and I spent 10 years in the Capital District, which is another hour or so north of where you are. But yeah, I got an idea. That's a beautiful country down through there. Down through the mountains. I know I cruised down through there more than once, went to West Point one time, and there's some beautiful trails and roads through the mountains up there, and Storm King Mountain. It's beautiful country. You could probably get some inspiration for your lyrics just walking through the nature paths up there.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, what are you doing now besides obviously you're writing and playing your music? Are you doing a lot of personal appearances?
Yeah, so I actually was just in the city for an event at SOBs. I've spent a lot of time over like the last couple months just creating a bunch of new music. So I had a lot of singles that came out over the summer. So now that all of that good stuff is out, I'm going to be starting to book more shows and play more shows. I actually have, I don't know if you're familiar since you're upstate, but Apple Fest is coming up here in the Hudson Valley.
Right.
So I will be there, and then I'm going to have a couple show dates. I don't want to exactly say what's what until they're lined up. Coming up in November and December as well. So I usually share all of that stuff on my website, but I am excited to be playing shows again because everything's just so different. Shows, the studio, everything just has a completely different vibe to it. So
and for the listeners, give them your website again, please.
www.misswrites.com, WRITES.
Right, MSWRITES.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Miranda. I want to let's backtrack a little bit. You're talking about your play dates and things of that nature. Do you have any plans on expanding your tour schedule to get out of the Northeast and travel? Do a little bit more of a national type of tour, whether it's down into Florida or out to Arizona or any of those places.
I would love to. I mean, that's always, of course, the goal and the plan, and I have been trying to line some things up because I would love to be able to see those places and just I love all the different little subcultures that you find in different places. So that definitely is the goal, and hopefully lining those things up in the near future. Yes.
Well, I know that one of our partners that we work with quite extensively is, and they're based in Fort Myers, Florida. Lady Lake Entertainment. They do a lot of bookings with indie artists, and they also, in addition to being down here, they book nationally, but they also are very good with regional bookings. The Fort Myers market, for example, Fort Myers, Florida, has quite a few venues for indie artists, whether they're country or rock or folk or hip hop. And if you'd like, I know that David can hook you up with them later on because they're good people to know. Of course, we don't want to step on the toes we don't want to step on the toes of your management. We would never want to do that. But
no, I appreciate that.
These are great folks to know, and we'd love to turn you on.
They're hooked up with a guy named Jimmy Starr, who has his own what do I want to say? His own tour, not tour specifically, but he does bookings and promotions as well as being an artist himself. So, there's a lot of connections to be made. And I know John was just being slightly selfish there because he lives down near the Fort Myers area. So, he loves to be able to see the guests that we have on the show in person, as do I. So if you happen to make it out, keep in the back of your mind, Arizona State University is in Tempe, outside of Phoenix. So if you ever get out that way, I'm just down the street from that area, so keep that in the back of your mind. But
absolutely.
seriously, as we tell all of the guests on the show, once you're on the show, you're part of the family, and we'll always be here for you. We've always got a place for you. You got new music coming out. You're going on tour, whatever. Get in touch with us. We'll help you promote it. And like I said, we've always got a place for you here on the show. Before we let you go, we've got about 1 minute left. Tell us about this next song we're going to play called Time to Time.
So Time to Time was actually just about my love for music and freedom and just the energy that I feel whenever I'm creating. And it's really just like an uplifting, positive anthem for people. I feel like sometimes there's so much like negativity in the world. It's nice to break away from that and allow people just to feel good and just have like, you know, like a fun, like free spirit. Feel like Time to Time is just the epitome of that. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to have a good time and just kind of be in the moment and be present. So.
Well, you definitely have a good time sound, and we're so glad that you stopped by and shared it with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Miranda Writes, and here she is with Time to Time.
This is the anthem. Get all your hands up. One love's the vibe. I feel so high. I like to close my eyes, time to time. Get lost in the bass drum. My worries fly. Music's my refuge. I feel so high. The sweet sound just gets me. One love's the vibe. Turn up the track, get lost in the rhythm. Mad all day. I don't wanna end on life as a way. Setting up the problem, but it's all good. Music is freedom. Dropping my hand, I'm falling. I know life is good. Gotta let the doubt roll. Good vibes is my mantra. I'm here to prosper. Sometimes I wonder, come back stronger. Long hours, late nights, gotta keep my head right. Sweet sounds, dope rhymes, fiend for the mic. Right, bright lights in eyesight, thoughts like the path right. Do this 'cause I love it. Hungry at the appetite, a lion, a monster. You can never conquer. Quit in the rain, throw the hoods like a boxer. Wanna tell me what I can do? Nah, no, thank you. Soul is free, and I'm so thankful. I like to close my eyes, time to time. Get lost in the bass drum. My worries fly. Music's my refuge. I feel so high. The sweet sound just gets me. One love's the vibe. Music's my refuge. I close my eyes, time to time. Get lost in the bass drum. Feel the sensation. Get lost in the drums, don't know what I'm thinking. Melodies free, yeah, my higher being. In tune with my dreams and my conversations. Energy be the key, I keep believing. I'm a beast on the beat, I can do this in my sleep. Frequency is unique, get in tune with the sheet. Forget through the teeth, don't sweat the technique. Been a long week, time to relieve. Inhale, exhale, tell my troubles farewell. Leader of my own tale, tell them what they can tell. Thoughts like a stanza, dance is the answer. Full cups and laughter, slander don't matter. Tune out the chapter, peace is what I'm after. Let the good times roll, jam to Miranda. When love is the vibe, I told you that I mantra. Writes on the mic, bringing you that anthem. I like to close my eyes, time to time. Get lost in the bass drum. My worries fly. Music's my refuge. I feel so high. The sweet sound just gets me. One love's the vibe. Oh yes, never sweat if it ain't right. On to the next, yes. Let it rest, hit the dance floor, drop it to the left. Life be a test, take a shot or a miss. Ain't tryna waste time on the road, forever bliss. I'ma need you to bounce, I'm smooth with the hits. Can I get it? Ayo, I'ma live, I'ma get. I like to close my eyes, time to time. Get lost in the bass drum. My worries fly. Music's my refuge. I feel so high. The sweet sound just gets me. One love's the vibe. This is the anthem. Get all your hands up. One love's the vibe. I feel so high.
Writes, like I just read you your Miranda Writes. I love a play on the words. We want to thank Miranda and, of course, their great band Neverwonder, for dropping by and sharing their music and stories with us today.
Or is it Never Wonder no more? I don't know. You kind of blew that one.
Nevermore, quoth the Raven. I don't know.
Yes, Thank you, Mr. Poe.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you both. Want to thank you, our listeners, who are joining us every week, and we look forward to talking to you again next week and playing some more music and talking to some new artists. John Bon Jovial, take us home.
Yes, sir. You know, it's been a great show this week. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We had some really good music. Neverwonder, excellent band, and they reminded me a lot of 10 Wheel Drive and Genya Raven, and Miranda. I think she's got a great voice. She utilizes it well, and I think this young lady has got some real potential, because, as you just so aptly put it, her music is not offensive. It's a good, strong, mainstream mass appeal sound, and I like it. I think she'll do well. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you have just spent another hour with us this week, and we sure do appreciate it. I just want you to know that this is the David Bowers Awards, and we really appreciate you following us every week. We are broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and also the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona, and available free on Blog Talk Radio. Also YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa devices, as well as SoundCloud, Mixcloud, and wherever great indie music is played. Be sure to click the follow link on our Blog Talk Radio page and like The David Bowers on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and all those other silly social media platforms to keep up with the show and all the indie music news that is fit to virtually print. Be sure to join us next week for the David Bowers Awards, Saturdays at 12 p.m. That's noon Eastern, WRFZ-FM 106.3 in Rochester, New York. That's Rochester Free Radio. And on Blog Talk Radio, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 6 p.m. UTC for all you international bon vivants out there for more great indie music and talk with the artists that make it happen. So until next week, for the David Bowers and Nick the Geek and Hopalong Sarcassity and all of our crew of morons here at the David Bowers Awards, I am John Bon Jovial, and I want you to join us next week. Peace, love, and we'll see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.